So now let's try to focus on the implementation part of this naive Bayes classifier that we have covered up in our previous session, right? So now in this, specific implementation, let me try to first of all give you a brief overview of what we will do here. If you remember in our logistic regression implementation, when we are doing the predictive analytics in a healthcare data, which is a diabetic data, what I will do is I'll try to take the same file. So you can see on my left cursor, the file is already open. And this is the same project that we have done in very much depth. And you all know that how basically the complete end-to-end pipeline I have shown you in this project, where we already have done the main process of EDA. It's just that when we are doing the implementation of, data modeling part, data modeling phase. So what I will do is now I will try to do the implementation of, naive Bayes classifier here. If you remember, the problem statement was to predict the outcome, right? Whether it is 0 and 1. So what we will do here is we will try to, do one thing. We will try to apply this naive Bayes classifier here, and we'll check it out that what is the accuracy, what is the classification report, and how the numbers looks like when we are applying this naive Bayes classifier. Or does it better as comparable to logistic regression or not? So this is the main purpose of this today's session. We will try to do the implementation. So in this manner, we can do the comparison as well as we will try to understand the implementation of this naive Bayes. Before jumping towards the implementation, let me just tell you that there are multiple types of naive Bayes we have. Now, although if you will be able to observe whatever be the mathematical intuition which we have learned, that will remain same. So I will personally recommend to everyone that please refer the documentation of this naive Bayes. You will be easily able to understand each and everything whatever we have discussed. But to understand the multiple types of naive Bayes, the important prerequisite is you should have a knowledge of the distribution of data. And that you will get only when you have a good idea about the statistical distributions that we have, right? Whether it be Gaussian distribution, whether it be multinomial, whether it be Bernoulli, right? Then only you will be able to understand this video. So please make sure that if there is anyone who is not aware about the distributions, as this particular video is not focused or inclined towards discussing about the distributions part. And here I'm assuming that you already aware about these things. So if there is anyone who says that, I'm not aware about these distributions or any of the distribution which I'm talking about here, in that scenario, please refer the stats videos firstly and try to get the understanding of that first before jumping towards this concept. Or maybe you can refer any article, Geeks for Geeks article also you can refer to get the understanding of the distributions first, okay? That part I'm not covering here. So I'm giving you a brief idea about that part, right? So first distribution which you will observe maximum number of times you will use is the Gaussian naive Bayes. Now I think this is one of the most crucial distribution in stats, which is also called as normal distribution. I think by seeing this equation itself, you will be able to get the understanding that this is an equation of a normal distribution or Gaussian distribution itself. So at what point of time we should go for this classifier? Whenever you will be having a continuous number of features available in your data. So it must be mentioned here as well. So Gaussian NB is the model name. It implements the Gaussian naive Bayes algorithm for the classification part, and the likelihood of the features is assumed to be Gaussian. So what is the meaning of Gaussian? It's a continuous random variable distribution, right? So that's why you will always have to make sure that whenever in your data you will be having a continuous features available, at that point of time you can go for this kind of a distribution. Similarly, we will be having this multinomial NB. If you want, you can click on this cursor and you will be able to get the complete guide. What are the parameters that we have, the complete description of that data. Similarly, you can do for this Gaussian NB as well. But as I'm saying to you that multiple number of times you will observe that you will be dealing with a normal distribution kind of a data, where you will be having continuous based entries. But still, I'm just showcasing you so that if anyone is not at all aware, they will be able to get an idea. And again, to read this article, again I'm saying just refer the original documentation of sklearn. You will get a clear idea about whatever things I'm conveying here, right? So here we will be having the multinomial naive Bayes. You can see this is specifically designed for the multinomially distributed data, and at any point of time, if you will feel, for example, you can say it is clearly mentioned whenever we want to do text classification, where the data is typically represented as a word vector count, although if TF, IDF vectors are also known as work well in practice. So this is a bit which is required to be known. If you are from an NLP based background, you already know that whenever we will be having a textual based data, in that case, again, our model doesn't understand that textual data. So what usually happens is that in the EDA process itself, in the textual data, we try to convert that into a vector, which in other terms is called as word embedding. And TF-IDF, which they're mentioning, is a part of that algorithm only. There are multiple algorithms very widely used as word-to-vec. Maybe you have used that, or maybe you're aware about that. So in that particular scenario where our data is in the form of this kind of a distribution, they will go for this kind of a algorithm. Then we have complement naive Bayes. You can say it's an adaptation of standard multinomial naive Bayes, which is particularly suited for imbalanced data sets. So if you will be able to observe at any point of time, whenever you will be having a data in which you know that the data distribution is not balanced, it's kind of an imbalance, and you want to apply the algorithm in that case, so you can go for this kind of algorithm. Then in the fourth category, we have Bernoulli naive Bayes. Bernoulli distribution, again, whenever you will be having a Boolean values available in your data, which is either true or false, in that case, definitely you can go for this Bernoulli naive Bayes. So the difference between all these categories is just the value of the distribution that we have. So if you will be able to observe, if you will go in depth towards this maths, every particular distribution has different PDF and PMF depending upon whether it belongs to a discrete random variable or a continuous random variable. And accordingly, the equation will get changed in the model, right? Fifth category is nothing but categorical naive Bayes, as the name itself suggests. If let's say you are dealing with a categorical distributed data, then in that case, you will go for this kind of algorithm. After that, we will be having out of core naive Bayes model fitting. What will happen in this case? Naive Bayes models can be used to tackle large scale problems for which the full training set might not fit in memory. To handle this case, multinomial, Bernoulli, Gaussian expose a partial fit method, which can be used incrementally as done with other classifiers. So basically in this particular model, or in this particular modeling, what will happen is, if let's say you are observing that you will be having a very huge amount of data set and you want to train that, but you know that it's not fitting in that specific memory, so you can apply this kind of a model fitting algorithm, which will basically help you to train the model pretty well, right? So you can just refer this documentation, although I have talked about a bit about all the algorithms. Now, in this specific case where we are having a diabetic data, you know that in this diabetic data, the output is classification, but the numbers which are given to us, whether it be pregnancies, whether it be glucose, whether it be BP, all these are the continuous numbers. So what do you think? Which kind of algorithm, we should go in this specific case in order to do the implementation? So I feel that you guys will agree with me that in this specific case, we will go for the Gaussian naive Bayes algorithm. So what we can do is, maybe we can just apply a model. You can say Gaussian naive Bayes, right? And obviously we have to import the model first. So you can say from sklearn.naive_Bayes. Now, when you're saying sklearn.naive_Bayes, it contains lot many algorithms, lot many varieties, which I just now talked about. We want to import a single one of them, which is a Gaussian NB, and that's what I have imported here. Now, what I can do is I can call this model directly. And for now, what I'm doing is I'm taking the default values here, right? After that, what we can do is we can just fit our model on the training set that we have. So let's check it out. What are the variables of the training set that we have? I think we will be having this x_trained_resample, because we have, if you remember in the last part of this project of predictive analysis, we have done the resampling, right? So we have this x_train_resample and y_train_resample. If there is anyone who is directly watching this video before covering up the above videos of logistic regression where we have covered up this project, I will highly recommend to them that please go in continuity, because there are multiple times I'm using the previous projects only, because somehow in this course structure, the algorithms will get changed and it doesn't make sense for me as well to curate a separate project for all the algorithms that we have. Sometimes if I'll feel that, okay, we can implement that same, project, and we can just change the data modeling phase. That's what I am doing in multiple parts of the videos. So please make sure that whatever the sequence is there in the course structure, you will implement that so that you will not face any confusion, right? So once our model is fitted, I think let's wait for some time to get the fitting to be done. Now we have trained this Gaussian NB. Now what we can do is we can just try to make the prediction part on the test set that we have. So in the test set, I think we will be having a variable name x underscore test. So let's check that out, and let's store the predictions in the, you can say y underscore predict underscore. You can just mention the model name as Gaussian underscore name underscore by. So maybe just copy that part so that, we have implemented multiple models and we will not get confused at the end of the day. So I think this looks fine to me. Gaussian underscore name underscore bias equals to and model underscore this dot predict. I think this is where we will be able to get the predictions. And if you want to print that prediction, you can just print that out. So here you can see what will happen. We will be able to see the predictions now pretty well. So here in this specific case, you will be easily able to observe that we will be having all these predictions in the form of a 0 and 1. And this is what we will be able to get here, right? It's in a classification problem where either our outcome is either 0 and 1. And that is what I think we are getting here, right? Now, what we can do is we can try to check the, confusion matrix here, the classification report here in a pretty well amazing manner. So what you can do is y test is given to us and we have this value of y predict as well. So just try to write it down and you will be able to get a complete confusion matrix here. If let's say you want to see the classification report, so you can print that as well just to evaluate your model. So again, what you're supposed to change is that prediction variable, which is Gaussian naive Bayes in this particular case. And you can just implement this part, you will be able to get that part as well. If you want to collect the maybe other stuffs, for example, what is the accuracy score? I think that also you can clearly able to collect here. So you can say print accuracy score, just change the model predictions that you will be able to get here. So here, let's try to run this file again. And we can see the accuracy that we are getting for this specific part, for this specific naive Bayes is 71.8. Acha, what was we are getting in the logistic regression per se? If you remember, we were getting 74.7 approximately. So in a way, yes, naive Bayes is not working that much accurate, that much apt as comparable to logistic part. But yes, this is the core implementation of naive Bayes per se. So here what we have done is, or what I have done is, I have just changed this part, and in this data modeling phase, I have tried to showcase you the implementation of naive Bayes classifier. Now, if you will ask me that, Priya, if let's say I will be having some different sort of distributions, for example, I am having a data set in which the Boolean values are there, either it will be true and false. So in that case, as you have shown to us that we have different varieties of naive Bayes, and then how can we implement that? So in that case, let's say you want to implement Bernoulli naive Bayes, Bernoulli NB. So just have to change after import that same that other algorithm, whatever you want to implement, maybe multinomial, maybe Bernoulli, whatever you want. And wherever I have mentioned this Gaussian NB, you have to just mention that Bernoulli NB, or you just have to mention categorical NB, whatever be the different varieties that we have just now explored. So in this way, you will be clearly able to implement everything. Now internally, if whatever be the algorithm you are applying, accordingly the code is written and it is using that distribution, whichever you are passing here, to implement that code, training your model and to get the results. So this is how the complete flow will go with respect to the naive Bayes part. I hope now it is pretty much clear to everyone. And if you still have any sort of doubts, anything is still confusing to you, it might be the case that for those people who are specifically not aware about the statistical distributions, that might be an issue for you. So as I told you, please refer the documentations, please refer the articles, please refer the YT videos. If it is available in your dashboard, the statistical videos, please refer that as well, and try to get the understanding of the different categories of random variables that we have and the distributions that we have. What is PDF, what is PMF, what is CDF, what is CMF, how many different kinds of distributions we have, what are the discrete continuous variables, what are the continuous random variables, everything you should know, so that you will be able to understand these concepts in a pretty much amazing manner, right? With this, let's end today's topic, and I'll see you all very soon in the upcoming videos where we will talk about other separate algorithms in machine learning. I hope that you are enjoying this course in a pretty much amazing manner. Bye bye everyone, and see ya.